Are you hungry?
Give me something, something good.
Hi, and welcome to another episode of Görgött. Today we're making a Crab Sando. I have a beautiful crab here, already cooked. Cooked them in salt water, so I have a nice taste. I have some nice Shokupan, some Japanese milk bread. And we have some other things, but it's easier to see from the top, so we'll go to that camera quickly. But before we do that, hit the subscribe button, please. And if you want, you can check the bell icon as well. That gives you notifications when new episodes come online. Now, let's go to the top camera. We have the crab, as I showed you. In Switzerland, you cannot get these fresh or raw, so it has been frozen. And it hasn't been handled that well. You can see it's missing a couple of legs and stuff, but it should still taste good. It comes from Ireland. We have the bread, as I said. We have some Japanese mustard. We have some rice vinegar, some sesame oil, and some neutral oil. We have 2 hard-boiled eggs. Because I'm making the mix as, it's kind of like a sauce gribiche. So you use the hard-boiled egg yolk, and the egg white will chop up and mix in with the crab and so on into the cream. Although it's kind of a mayonnaise base, but made with hard-boiled egg yolks. We have some butter. All we need the butter for is to fry the bread, and a bit of chives that we will chop up and put in as well. But I think the first thing we'll start with is getting the meat out of the crab. Now this can get a bit tricky, and normally I wouldn't use this. I would use a nutcracker, but I don't own a nutcracker. Or there's even special tools, but especially in Scandinavia, that you can, it looks like a nutcracker, but it's made to crack shells like this. But a hammer works just as well. But first we need to take it apart. We'll break the claws off. Take the legs off as well. Save the legs, there's a bit of meat in there too. Now you want to get this flap off. And now comes the sometimes difficult part. You need to try to press down a bit on this. That was harder than I thought, so. Let's put that to the side. Normally you should be able to do this by hand. I don't know why it didn't work now, but we'll just have to do it this way. So this is the part that you cannot eat. We'll put that to the side. There's a little bit of meat here we can scrape off and some head juice there, but everything around it you cannot eat. And what we'll do here is, you see the front part here, we'll just press down on that and pick that out as well. We're getting all the meat out with this one. It's quite full of meat. Now you kind of just want to take what's soft here. So this is throwaway for now. You see here the soft stuff, that's perfect to mix into the mayonnaise. Put that in a pile here. Everything that goes down the middle here you can eat. Now let's get to these claws. Give them a good whack, and then you can start picking them apart like this. You can use a small sharp tool like this to try to get out the small pieces as well, because it's all good meat. With the claws you need to check, because this is the hard membrane or the hard cartilage. Since we're mixing this up anyway, we're not too worried about keeping it whole. And now you just have to crack bit by bit open, pick out the meat, and then you're good to go. So let's cut to when we're done. So we ended up with a bit of a mess, but believe me, it's well worth it. We have our white meat, so what's in the claws, what's in the legs, and we have our dark meat, what's in the head. And from a taste, I actually prefer the dark meat. It doesn't look so nice, but it tastes wonderful. And now we'll clean this up, and then we'll start with the sauce. So one of the first things we need to do is to separate the yolk from the white. Just like that. And now we press it through this sieve. You can do this with your hands or you can do it with something else. And you turn it around and just scrape off the bottom. Now we'll get going with our liquids. About a tablespoon of vinegar. I don't want to use only sesame oil because that will be too strong. So some neutral oil. We'll start with that and then let's whisk. About a tablespoon of sesame oil. Pinch of salt and our head meat. Really try to kind of mince it up with your hands. I'll put a little bit of the mustard in. I would say that's probably a third of a teaspoon. Put that to the side for now. We have our egg whites. Just kind of roughly chop them up. So you have something like this. And then we put them in as well. We have our chives. Just chop up finely. Perfect. We put that in as well. So now we almost have all our ingredients. What's missing? The crab. At least the white meat of the crab. Put that all in. And now we'll put this in the fridge for a little bit so that it can cool a little bit. While we wait for our mixture to set or to cool, it doesn't need to set, we can just butter the bread. Plenty of butter. You're not going to regret the butter once it's fried. Now, I'm not buttering both sides yet, but before I put it in a frying pan, I'll butter both sides. Our pan is hot. I'm not going to film the pan this time. It's not so interesting to see how we fry toast, but butter up this second side. In it goes. So we're ready to put it together. Our mix is cold. Our toast is done. Take those two out. You want to pack in as much as you can. Like that. It will probably go out on the side, but we don't care. I get the other slice on top. Again, we'll cut off the sides. And a slice down the middle. Get our plate. Not a bad sando. Time to dig in. This is probably going to be a bit messy, but who cares? It's like eating a good burger, it can drip. That's not an issue. Such a nice taste with the saltiness from the crab. Crab is just a perfect thing to put in a sando. As you know, you can make sandos with pretty much everything. And I've made some before. I think I've made lobster, I made wagyu, I made egg. But this is definitely one of my favorite ones. It's just really, really intense. The brown meat of the crab gives it so much flavor. So if you can get a hold of a crab like that, go for it. As you saw, it's no rocket science to make it. And if you want to make a quick version, just take some Kewpie mayo, mix the crab into that, and you're done and dusted. But as always, if you enjoyed the episode, please click the thumbs up below. And if you haven't done so yet, click the subscribe button. And please leave a comment. Let me know what you think of the channel. Let me know what you thought of the episode. Let me know what you would like to see on the channel. I promise I will answer each of the comments. But that's it for today. Thank you very much. Take care. Bye-bye.